What's up guys, my name is Ryland, back with another video. I know if you have already subscribed to my channel, it's been a little long since I posted my last video, and I apologize for that. I took the trip to Italy, and then when I got back, I was absolutely buried in work. So I'm here now, live in the flesh, and ready to get a little review on for you guys. So behind me, I have a 2016 Z4. This is the 35i, so it's the mid-pack. It's not the Granddaddy IS, but it is a sweetheart of a car. If you guys are a fan of BMWs, you might have already known that they're coming out with the new Z4. They discontinued it in 2016, and I believe late 2019 to 2020 they're gonna have the new body style and just the overall new Z4. So this is gonna be a tribute to the old Z4, and we're just gonna be discussing, along with the review, why these cars are just absolutely so much fun. They may not be practical at all, but practicality, oh, I'm gonna bleep that. Alright guys, one more thing before we jump right in. You guys probably knew it was coming. I'm sure you guys knew it was coming. So I'm just gonna say it right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. I do all kinds of different videos in regards to reviews, tutorials, DIYs, etc, etc. So if you enjoyed it, just hit that subscribe button, helps me out. Okay guys, so starting out with the exterior, and right away you kind of formulate your own opinion real quick. You either hate the style or you love the style. It's got a long front end, mid looks pretty proportional, not bad. The back end is obviously pretty small, especially compared to the front end. This is, you know, one of those cars where the front end is like 3 times bigger than the back end. Pretty rare to see. So proportions wise, it is a little bit weird. However, I seem to like it. It's very fun looking, and that's what this car is all about. Let me tell you, it is absolutely a blast. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So let's move on to the rims, and you notice that they're 19-inch rims. Pretty standard BMW looking. They've had these rims on the Z4s for years and years, ever since it's been discontinued in 2016. So it's kind of iconic for this car, and I do really like them. Not too hard, I would say, to keep clean, which is really nice, because when you have performance brakes, they just spew out brake dust everywhere. Okay guys, so taking a closer look at the side profile of this Z4, and we see two unique things. The first one is this side skirt. It's not functional in terms of aerodynamics, which is unfortunate. However, the blinker lights are actually housed here instead of like the mirror. Typically BMWs now, you know, ever since I believe 2015, no, let me scratch that. Ever since 2012, with the release of the F30, BMWs have been putting their blinker lights on the mirror caps themselves, sort of like Audi does. And it's cool to see on a 2016 model that there's actually the blinker lights on the side skirt, on the side of the car. I actually prefer this. I think it looks a little bit better when they're functional. And at night, sometimes the blinker lights on the mirror caps themselves kind of shine into the car, and it can be sort of a distraction. So glad to see him here. The side skirt definitely adds a little bit of character. However, it would be nice if it was aerodynamically functional. Now, the other unique thing on the side of this vehicle is the BMW badge, which is usually only located on the front and the rear of the car. So typically BMWs, if they have a special car, like a rare car, they put badges in a little bit different places. An example of this is the M1, which has badges on the side of the car, just like this. So it's kind of like a tribute to the unique models in BMW lineup when they put badges on various other places. So I'm glad they did that on this vehicle, because it certainly is unique, and it certainly is a lot of fun. Okay, the last thing I want to mention on the side exterior of this vehicle is something I'm not really too fond of, to be honest with you, and that's this little freaking antenna. So the new Z4 that's coming out in 2019, 2020 doesn't have that. thank goodness, because it kind of makes the car look a little bit dated. And I don't know, just something about antennas, man. I don't like them. I despise them, to be honest with you. And so I guess I'm pretty biased, but what are you gonna do? Okay guys, so taking a closer look at the back end of the vehicle, and we see that she's pretty well rounded back here, which is nice. It's very simplistic, rounded, designed, and the taillights are partial LED, which is another good feature, as well as having dual exhaust, which is pretty standard for any BMW that has the inline-6 engine equipped, which this one does. Now, a really cool feature is the fact that the handle to open the trunk is actually the badge itself. So you just push up on this part, or just push on this part and lift up, and voila, you can open the trunk, which is pretty cool. Another unique feature is that the third brake light is actually on the trunk itself instead of being on the window. This is because when you have the top down in this car, you wouldn't be able to see the third brake light, so they had to put it on the trunk itself. Okay, so actually looking at the inside of the trunk itself, and we see that with the top down as it is now, there's not much storage. However, there's still a decent amount, I guess you can say. I have a couple backpacks in here, just all my camera gear and stuff, so it fits really nicely, not too bad. And when the top is up, you do get access to more of the trunk. I say it gives you like 4 or 5 more cubic feet. I don't even know. Not too much, but there is a pass-through for golf clubs and whatnot. Okay guys, so taking a closer look at the front end of this vehicle now, and we noticed that it definitely looks more aggressive than the back end. This is due in part to the bigger kidney grills from BMW. They look really nice, and typically these are either black or silver, these kidneys, and they're gray on this car, which is very unique, kind of weird, but I actually like it, so it's pretty nice. And then also we see that it has the aggressive front fascia, which is obviously always a nice touch on BMWs. And then the lights themselves are bind xenon. I believe this is the only light combination you can get on this vehicle, and it's very nice. It illuminates the road really well, and if you turn the steering wheel, the lights actually turn with the steering wheel, which is pretty nice, and it's pretty common on luxury cars nowadays. But if you didn't know, you know now. Before we jump into the interior, I'm gonna go ahead and get in this vehicle and drop the top. 2 reasons why I'm gonna do that. The first one is there's a beautiful San Diego breeze right now, and I want to be doing this review in the comfort of that breeze and not sweating to death. So that's one reason, personal benefit. And the second reason is I know there's kind of a cult following for people who like to see convertibles open and close, and I'm gonna give you guys what you want, because that's what this channel is all about, yeah? Also, from a functionality standpoint, you'll get to see how long it takes to open the convertible top, and granted, it is actually pretty fast. You can open or close this top going under 30 miles an hour, or obviously you can do it parked, stationary, and it typically takes around 20 seconds. So if you want to go ahead and count that, be my guest. Go ahead, take my word for it. Alright, let's do it. Oh, shit. Bunga boys. Hold it up. Yeah, she's done. Okay, sitting in this vehicle with the top down, and I have to say that it is certainly an excellent place to be. The interior is awesome, which we'll jump into. Certainly not the best, but it is really functional, really nice. Seats are very comfortable, pretty supportive. However, I wish there was some type of lumbar support. This sport seat that it has in it kind of comes with its own lumbar, which is a little bit too much for like the contours of my back. So wish there was some lumbar functionality. That is the one gripe. However, everything else is nice. You can adjust the bolsters on the seat to tighten it up a little bit. Just overall very comfortable. There's a thigh extender that you can go ahead and pull out for long road trips. Another nice thing. And this is my driving position right here. I'm like 5'10", 5'11", I don't even know. And I have plenty of leg room. Okay, so taking a closer look at the interior. B, what are you doing, B? B, why you gotta get near me like this, bro? You're interrupting the video. You're wasting these people's time, you're wasting my time. Bees are so inconsiderate, yeah? So inconsiderate. Anyways, guys, taking a closer look at the interior, and the first thing you notice is this steering wheel. It is super small, and it's wrapped in this M leather, which is very soft, very smooth. I have this leather for my steering wheel in my M235, and I absolutely love it. And this steering wheel is very comparable to the ones that you find on the new M model vehicles, such as the M3, the M4, and the M2. However, this one's actually a little bit smaller. While I don't like the look of it as much as the new M steering wheels in the M235, I actually do like the way it feels better. That just a little bit smaller feel makes it feel more like a race car, and ergonomically it's just a super functional steering wheel. And not too many buttons on the steering wheel itself, which is true to the BMW Z. It's has always been just more of like a sports car, more of an analog based car instead of, you know, a bunch of gizmos and electronics. So I'm glad they didn't go overboard with the buttons on the steering wheel. And another thing we see is this trim, which is kind of like a metallic silver look. Pretty nice. Definitely complements the interior really well against this black leather. And another really cool thing about the trim in this vehicle, while it looks nice in contrast against the black leather, it certainly doesn't show up smudges or scratches, not nearly as much as the piano black trim that is found in many BMWs and many luxury cars in general. So while piano black trim does look really nice, it's just so prone to smudges, like worse than an iPhone. And it's also prone to little hairline scratches that really get amplified when the sun beats down on it. So to be honest, while I like the look of piano black better, from a longevity standpoint, I'd rather go with a trim that kind of looks like this. Now as far as the dashboard goes, it's very simplistic, and all of these gauges on the dashboard themselves are round and just analog looking, like the throwbacks to the old Z3s and the older Z4s. So I really like the way they did that, circular in design, and there's 4 dials in total, so very simplistic. Now moving along to the center console, and we see that the majority of the buttons in this vehicle are definitely here. You have all your typical iDrive functionality buttons, such as media, radio, menu, navigation, whatnot. See this cup holder that you can actually remove from the center console. However, I love it being there, and it's really out of the way. Granted, it is in the leg space of your passenger a little bit. However, who cares about the passenger? I mean, it's all about you know what I'm saying? It's all about the driver. Okay, so taking a look at the center storage, and we see that there's really no storage whatsoever. This is enhanced Bluetooth capabilities for your phone. This is like a $500 option, so if you don't get this, then you get a little bit more space for change and whatnot, but you do get 2 cup holders in here, which is pretty generous. Okay, so taking a look at the doors, and very simplistic looking. Nice leather wrapped pretty much around the entire door. I love this pocket, how they have it to where you actually have to open it to put stuff in, and then you can close it. It's a nice hinge system. It's very firm to open and firm to close, so you know your stuff is really secure. Okay guys, so getting this Z4 out onto the road. Oh yeah. For the sake of wind noise, I unfortunately, trust me, unfortunately have to have the top up. And the windows rolled up as well. But you can still, you still hear that? Beautiful N54 engine. Oh yeah. She is quick. 300 horsepower, 300 pound-feet of torque. Nice even number. Gotta love it, and it has definitely a lot of torque. Feels really great right off the bat. Has this the electronic steering, which I wish they kept, since they kept, you know, stuff from the E90 generation of BMWs. I do wish they would have kept the hydraulic steering. However, for electric steering, this is about as good as it gets. Basically, any input put into the steering wheel, it's immediately translated into the wheels real quick too. There's no play at all. Just like my M235, wherever I want to turn the steering wheel, or wherever I want to turn, even if it's just a marginal turn, it does it really, really quick, and it's definitely a joy. So I'm in Sport Plus mode right now. It basically makes the throttle response a little bit quicker, tightens up the suspension if it has the adaptive M suspension, which this one does. Okay, so giving it another pull here. Oh yeah, yeah, we're going too fast to say, because I don't want the feds to come after me, but it gets up there, it moves very, very quick. This car is rated at 0 to 60, happens at 4.8 seconds with this engine, the N54 engine. Now there is the Granddaddy IS version, which is basically just a tuned version of this vehicle, and it puts out, I believe, 330 horsepower and like 340 pound-feet of torque, so a little bit more, and its 0 to 60 is in the lower portion of the 4-second range, so like 4.4, 4.5. This just still feels really quick. Transmission is smooth, and the IS comes equipped with a dual clutch transmission. The shifts are smooth, but they do give you that jolt when you put the power down completely, like pedal to the metal, that jolt in the back with the shifting, just like a dual clutch usually does. It's there in this vehicle as well, and feels really great. It feels on par with my M235 when it comes to handling, no doubt. I'm tearing up these canyons right now very swiftly. There's actually way less body roll in this Z4 than my M235 had, with just the stock springs that it comes with. Way less body roll, so it's definitely more composed, and I really love that. I can say that it is a little bit harsher than a base model M235, but by no means is it harsh in my eyes. I still think it is relatively comfortable, goes over the bumps pretty gracefully, doesn't upset the chassis too much. However, some big bumps can get this vehicle a little squirrely. I think it's just the perfect amount of firmness and comfort. It's honestly, it's perfect. You could daily drive this car and not get beat up too much, but very minimal body roll, as I said, which is really, really surprising, especially compared to my M235. I'd be very curious to see what this car is like on some stickier rubber. I really do think it's it would be a weapon on the canyon roads for sure. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, sing baby, sing! Woo! Alright guys, if you couldn't tell, I'm having a lot of fun right now, hitting corners at a great amount of speed. Do not pull out in front of me. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Didn't want to die today, especially not on camera, you know. But the soundtrack to this N54 on this stock exhaust it's nice. There's some burble. The exhaust backfires quite a bit, especially when you go full throttle and you upshift. It has this nice little blap that it does, this little freaking burble that just sounds absolutely amazing. It's definitely not really loud, especially compared to, you know, my M235 with a catless exhaust system. The N54 is just a sweetheart of an engine. The power delivery is so crisp, so smooth. Oh man, I'm just picturing myself with the top down right now. Just the wind blowing in all sorts of directions. Just amazing feeling it would be if the, you know, wind noise for mics wasn't such a pesky thing. Got a little bit of rotation on that little turn right there coming out of the exit. It's just beautiful, very well composed. The thing I do not like about this vehicle and many other BMWs, pretty much all BMWs besides the M models, is they lack a limited slip differential. My M235, same case as well, lacks a limited slip differential. I don't know why BMW doesn't just throw that in. But nonetheless, I've been reading forums on this vehicle and people are able to burn both the wheels, the tires. Able to burn rubber and not just have like a one-wheel pill. And as I'm driving it right now, I haven't burned rubber in it, granted, because it's not my car, but I am getting a little bit of rotation. The back end's coming around and it feels like it has a limited slip when I go over these canyon roads. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. I was gonna do a little bit more driving impressions, but honestly, I'm having so much fun that I just wanna drop the top and get the camera out of my face. Obviously, I can't have the top down, as I mentioned before, because the wind will just be too severe. You guys won't be able to hear me. But I really hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. I certainly had a lot of fun making the video. This vehicle is super fun, and I really hope that, you know, they never stop making vehicles like this, because it's just an absolute blast. And yeah, that's basically it. If you like the video, again guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps me out, and look forward to seeing me next week. I'll be back on my regular schedule, so one video a week. And again guys, thank you so much, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.